Hello, hello, hello. Grandma Prepper here. I am on my way to my next job site. I'm basically a traveling nurse. I have a set schedule. I go to people's homes and help them take care of their daily tasks that they need assistance with. So anyway, I had some time this morning to get some of my daily tasks done and weekly tasks done. And it got me to thinking, I wonder how much of our daily routines and weekly routines actually prepare us for getting prepared. I go to the grocery store, and every time that I go to the grocery store, I pick up a few things for my prepper pantry. Every time that I take care of my laundry, I fold it up in a way that it's just grab and go. So it sits in all of my work clothes sit at the end of my bed in stacks for, each individual day. And, and it occurred to me this morning that if something bad were to happen, it would be really fast for me to grab those stacks of clothes, throw them in my backpack, and get out the door if I needed to evacuate. And so I'm wondering what if you can think of some things that you do daily or weekly that are just normal everyday tasks or normal weekly tasks that you could use those as prepping as well. So please leave comments in the feed down below. Give me feedback, what you think. There were a couple other things that I was hoping to have a conversation with you about. But of course, I'm really nervous and my brain is seriously drawing a blank. And it was a lot about not trying to incite fear. But we need to be educated about what's going on in the world. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about, who's right or who's wrong. Because I'm just ready for everybody to grow up and act like a darn adult and work together. But that's all I'm going to say on that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot going on, and we really need to be educated. And I'm no fear, just education. I am noticing in my area that the cost of food is going up. And that was to be expected. I mean, it's common sense. The shutdown happened, the economy is in the tank, and, businesses need to be able to pay their employees, and a lot of businesses are paying hazard pay. So they're quickly running out of money. And a lot of storms happened this year, and a lot of crops were lost. And it is what it is. Life happens, natural disasters happen, and we just had a few more than normal this year. So we lost more crops than normal. And it's not just us in the U.S., it's across the world. And while it's not a large percentage of crops that we lost, it's still going to impact our pocketbooks because the companies are going to want to make their money regardless of how much they sell. So at the end of the day, prices are rising, and they're going to continue to rise until we can stabilize our economy. And we're not going to be able to stabilize our economy until we can get people back to work. So, I'm thinking that, it's going to be a couple of years of prices rising. And, I don't make a lot of money. So right now I'm buying everything that I can so that in the future my my dollars can go towards the fresh foods, and it doesn't cost as much, because I'm not having to buy those canned goods. It's kind of like paying yourself forward, if that makes sense. Is buy it now so you're paying today's prices rather than tomorrow when you're buying it at tomorrow's prices. Now, I know everybody is, financially different. I don't make a lot of money, so I work 2 different jobs at 40 hours a week, and I get all of the overtime that I can at one of those jobs, and then I have a 3rd job that I work as many hours as I can, although there's not a lot of hours left, so it's not a lot of hours, but that's the money that I spend for prepping, is half of one paycheck for my regular 2 jobs, just half of one, and then my 3rd job, whatever I make from that. And then I've been really lucky that a lot of people are getting stimulus checks, and they're getting the extra for unemployment, and people that I had loaned money to in the past are actually paying me back. And it's really nice because I've been using all of that money to prep and to buy goods that I'm going to be using later. And I don't eat a lot. It's very little that I actually eat. So I'm more prepping for my children to be able to come to my home and shop in my prepper pantry when prices get so high that the prices outpace their paychecks. Now, mind you, they all make minimum wage. Not all of them. The one that I'm specifically thinking of makes minimum wage, and she has a baby. And my other son, he is doing really good taking care of himself. My other ones, all of them are doing really good taking care of themselves. But there might come a point in time where the jobs that they do don't exist anymore. Or excuse me, once everybody has to start paying rent and everybody can start being evicted, the prices for rent are going to increase. Like, I know that I'm going to start increasing the rent on the rooms that I rent out. Right now, I'm only charging $500 a month, and I was going to raise the rent $50 before the pandemic happened, and then in January, in October, I saw what was happening and overseas, and I'm like, my gut just said, hold off and wait. So I did, and thankfully I did, because all of this has happened, and the rent memorandums went into place, and I'm not saying that word right, I apologize. And the last year has really changed a lot, so I decided not, I was really glad I didn't raise the rent, but once we're able to, once everybody's able to raise the rents, I will be raising the rent $50, and I know that that's going to cause a little bit of an issue for my tenants, but I'm not raising it a lot. I just, everything costs more now. Everything that I pay for, like, I buy all the garbage bags, I buy all the toilet paper, laundry soap, all of that. I pay for everything, and all of the cost of that has increased dramatically. I mean, what I used to pay $9 for, I'm now paying $13 for. And it's insane. So I'm going to have to pay the rent I'm going to have to raise the rent to kind of help make up the cost of all of those different things. And, I be able to buy the Clorox wipes, used to be able to buy them for, you know, I think it was $4.99 for a 4-pack with 240 of them in there. And now they're like $9 to $11. It's insane. So, yeah, I don't like the idea of raising the rent, because I try to be really fair in the rent that I charge. But yeah, it's with the cost of living going up so dramatically, with cleaning supplies and paper products, I'm going, you know, I don't have a choice. I have to raise the rent. You know, and I expect that many others are going to be raising the rent for, you know, because they have not, a lot of landlords have not been getting the rent from a lot of people. So they're going to have to, really, they're going to have to, you know, raise rent to make up that money so that they can pay their taxes at the end of the year. And so that they can pay their water bill and the garbage bill and all of the other bills associated with, you know, and there's a lot, especially with apartment complexes, there's a lot of repair bills. And with everybody staying at home, or so many people staying at home this past year, the wear and tear on the homes, you know, there's probably been a lot of things that have been going wrong. And the landlords are having to go in and do a lot of maintenance on the homes. So, you know, there's a lot of cost incurred. So yeah, I expect food prices to go up even more. I expect rents to go up even more. You know, and the states have been pouring money into, you know, the welfare system for, you know, people who never qualified for food assistance before are qualifying now. And in order to make up that money, they're going to have to increase the taxes. And, you know, so everything's just going to keep going up. Oh, fire truck, sorry. I don't know if that's going to interfere in the video or not. But yeah, you know, so I just you know, so then my next question is, what do you predict is going to be happening in the future, with the cost of living and, rents and things like that? You know, what do you predict is going to happen? And if you predict that they're going to be going up, what are you doing to prepare for that? Anyway, you know, I appreciate you guys. Please leave me comments down below. And if you like the videos with me asking you questions and giving you a little bit of information about what I'm seeing and what I'm doing, I would appreciate that feedback as well. You guys have a wonderful day, and I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Even though it makes me really nervous, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for just being here. And thank you ahead of time for any comments and feedback. Have a great day.